who does this simply because he loves boxing, he may become the most important man in Ray Mancini's career.
And he has done a remarkable job on that cut, and so far kept him in the fight. Bramble has come out in this round as a right-hander, and I wonder why. Bill, he was so effective as a southpaw in that last round.
Well, again, here, as we talked about in the Bumpus fight, Bramble obviously doesn't think this man can hurt him. So he goes either way, but he must know better.
Here's what being a lefty does to help Bramble. First of all, he can land his right hook better because it's closer to Mancini's head. Secondly, he makes Mancini's left jab less effective, and that was the punch that was really doing the damage and setting things up against Bramble.
As he's doing right now, but he took a right cross from Bramble. The sneak right by Bramble. He's got that quick right hand. It's very dangerous. Mancini going to the body was slowed up a little by a hard punch to the head.
Bramble is covering up much better here in this round as he was toward the end of the third round.
Minute 45 remaining in round number 4. There is no bleeding from Mancini's eye, and the best that I can see from here, the eye does not appear swollen. He can see out of it. Good right hand by Mancini. They're yelling at Mancini from his corner. Underneath. You probably hear it the way we do.
They want him to work Bramble's body. Bramble's doing a pretty good job of covering up to the body, but Ray is getting in with that punch. The jab again of Mancini, I'll tell you, that's a very good weapon. He landed it against Chacon, as I said, a much shorter fighter, but doing well against Bramble. Excellent right by Mancini.
Good right, counter. As I mentioned to you before, Mancini uses his left hand. He's a lefty in everything but boxing and batting in baseball. He's a converted southpaw, and that right hand is very much underrated. He's in a war.
He is banging the body of Bramble with that right hand. You wonder what toll that will take later in the fight, if we get to later in the fight.
Bramble fighting back.
There is never an easy fight for Ray Mancini, and this one again, a very tough one.
Sports Night of Champions will continue after this message from your local station. For round number 5, and the one thing the referee, who's had tremendous pressure on him, he knows the Duvacamp didn't want him. The one thing he does that may upset the Mancini corner is that he keeps going to Mancini's corner to look, and that gives him the idea he may have ideas of stopping the fight. He has no vote in the fight. Mike Liana, Stan Berg, and Lou Moretta, the judges.
I think he just wants to be responsible to make sure he keeps looking at that eye. You know, Livingstone Bramble's the #1 rated contender by the WBA. Some people thought that was suspect. He's showing us tonight it's not suspect. He's an excellent fighter, and he is performing as well in this fight as he ever has as a pro.
So that the pressure has not gotten to him, but we're looking at a different Mancini. Mancini is boxing him now, using a stiff left jab, and then using the right hand over it. Apparently they've shown him the boxing.
Well, these are the skills that Ray has worked on continually, and in the last several years has improved on. He's still standing pretty erect and taking a few too many Bramble lefts and rights, but he's doing a good job with that jab. Now, there's Bramble countering over the jab with his right. That's what he wants to do.
That's Ray's best punch, in my opinion. That left hook to the body. That does more damage than almost any other punch. It sets up the other fighter for the rain of blows to the head. Jab, jab, and then the hook and the right. Bramble standing there as if he's loading up.
Well, he is, but Ray Mancini's doing the work. Oh, good right by Bramble. One of the things Bramble's doing better in this fight is, you know, he normally punches off balance and loses some power and leaves himself open. He's not doing that tonight.
Warning to Bramble about using his elbows. Mancini coming on, warding him off with the elbows and coming at him.
Good body work again by Mancini. He's abandoned that a little bit.
Good left hook by Bramble. tough fight.
Indeed, and both these fighters doing what they do and doing it extremely well. They're both fighting excellently.
Yelling at Ray Mancini are the people in this corner, use your stick, and they mean stick that jab out at it.
Mancini much busier than Bramble, and you would think that has got to have an impact on the judges. He's throwing 6 or 7 punches to every one for Bramble.
I know the reason you're mentioning it. If it's a technical stoppage, then of course it becomes a question of who's it. What a right uppercut by Bramble.
And Ray does not stop coming forward. The Mancini chin, it is excellent.
That time he avoided the right hand. Another hard punch by Bramble as we come to the end of round 5.
Come on, baby, we
talked about what was going on in the corner of Ray Mancini. Al, what is Lou Duva telling him?
Got a lot of time.
Well, let's hear. Let's listen to Lou Duva give his instructions.
Whenever you want him to miss, just feign him a step back, half a step. He'll miss for you.
Come on, baby, come on. All right, come on, the knots now. All right, baby.
I don't know how much we picked up there, but I would think as we take a look into the eyes of Livingstone Bramble, he's got to be thinking this is a tough battle against Ray Mancini, and he's hit him with some great punches, not hurt Ray.
Round number 6. The cut has been stopped. That is, the bleeding of the cut has been stopped by Paul Percifield. But of course, any good shot might open it up again. And then it becomes a question of what will Marty Denkin do. And today, tremendous pressure was put on him. And he knows it by the Duva corner. Now here's Mancini starting to load up to the body.
I think Denkin gave us an indication, though, that he is happy to rely on the doctor's opinion, because he did in the first round when the doctor said let the fight go. But that's the problem we'll worry about when it reopens. Right now, both these fighters are fighting well on the inside.
The doctor, incidentally, is a Syracusan named Armin Sincata, and he may have a lot to say in the determination of this fight. Mancini does not go up on his toes, but he's using the left jab to work off of, taking the left jab from Bramble, though.
You know, for the first time, Bramble is starting to use his jab. Really a surprise. He's got the reach and height advantage, and he's got a fairly good left jab, but the punch has been in mothballs until this round. Great body work by Mancini.
Are you of the opinion that a very thin-waisted fighter takes less of a shot to the body?
I think it depends on the fighter, the kind of shape they're in. And there have been examples of fighters who did have a thin waist, obviously, and did take body shots well. But Mancini wants to test the middle of Bramble, and he wants to tire him out for later. Mancini's been a long distance in a number of his fights. Bramble, not so much.
Mancini scoring effectively both from the outside and the inside.
Bramble, in fact, has never been past 10 rounds. He's been that distance 3 times. Mancini has gone 10 rounds or more on 6 different occasions, so on 5 different occasions.
A minute remaining in this round. Mancini now trading with him. It's been a different kind of fight than you would expect from Mancini. You would expect him to come in as he is right now underneath, but they keep yelling at him from the corners. Circle him in jab. Good right hand by Mancini.
Well, it's been a fight on the inside, but Mancini found out that from just a slightly longer distance away, he could land the jab in these combinations, so he's done it. He didn't have to be fighting right off the chest of Bramble, though he is right now.
And doing it effectively. He's got Bramble cornered, and he's using the body blows to set him up. We're getting ready for round number 7. Al, how do you have it scored through the first 6?
I've got Ray Mancini leading 59-56, and believe me, those rounds have been very close, so the judges may be seeing it differently. You know, Bill, back in round 3, Bramble turned to the southpaw stance, was very effective over about a minute-and-a-half period. He has never gone back to that, and I'm really wondering why.
Mancini now using his power, but Bramble got him with a right hand.
That was as solid a right as Bramble can throw, and Ray did not back off.